Hello, my name is Joshua Mootoo and welcome to the demo of my dissertation project Trials of Chaos. Trials of Chaos is a roguelike action survival game where the aim of the game is to survive the continuous waves of enemies on an ever-changing randomly generated level. So to start off, I will be going over the mechanics and features of the game, starting with the game controls. Trials of Chaos offers the use of multiple different input devices. You can use mouse and keyboard, or a game controller like the Xbox or PlayStation 5 controller. The controls are quite simple. You move the player and navigate menus with WASD for mouse and keyboard, and the left analog for controller. Attack using left click for mouse and keyboard, the X button for Xbox and the square button for PlayStation. And confirm things on the menus with the spacebar for mouse and keyboard, the A button for Xbox and the cross button for PlayStation. So the main feature that I worked on for Trials of Chaos was the level generator. It works by calculating the player's position on a two-dimensional grid array using the player's X and Z coordinates. Then using that information, it instantiates a 3x3 tile grid of pre-made randomly selected level rooms with a random Y rotation in multiples of 90 with the player in the center room. Even though these rooms are pre-made, they all have a level of randomness to them. The walls, floor tiles, and some of the room objects have multiple variations that are randomly selected when the room is instantiated. The way the level manager is set up allows for infinite generation, and also, if the player were to move across multiple rooms and return to the original room, it will be completely different. A dodge and other weapons were partially implemented but were cut last minute due to bugs. For the enemies, there are 3 enemy types: the Skeleton Knight, Skeleton Archer, and the Skeleton Brute. There's also the final boss. All enemies move towards the player, ignoring any walls and level objects in their way. The Skeleton Knight and Brute deal damage by colliding with the player. The Skeleton Brute moves slower but deals more damage. The Skeleton Archer also moves towards the player but will stop as it reaches a certain distance from the player to shoot arrows at them. The final boss starts off by throwing enemies towards the player, then will walk towards the player, dealing a high amount of damage if the player comes in contact with it. If one of the enemies thrown dies, the boss will launch another enemy towards the player. Finally, the wave manager. Each wave has a total enemy cap, but if an enemy dies or is too far from the player, it is replaced with another enemy. As the waves start, it gradually spawns in a randomly selected enemy from the list of enemy prefabs until the cap is reached. Unfortunately, there is a known bug that messes with the enemy count, making it go into the negative, which makes the wave spawn over the enemy wave cap. Overall, I am quite happy with the project. Definitely needs some work, of which I plan to continue working on this project post-Kingston. Thanks for watching the demo video for my game Trials of Chaos.